Okay, this is the kitchenette area. We're really going to call this video is going to be baked into the water heater section since we have one, and that's the largest appliance in this section. This looks like this area here was added on or added to after the original construction based on the wall that's in here, based on the need for a second water heater. When plumbing's added to, like, an exterior wet bar like this is, things like that, it's always curious to see. We have a floor drain in here. This is the bath for your swimming guests. It's always interesting to see where the drain goes to, because a lot of times they're not plumbed into the house original drain system. And since we have cleanouts over here, this is going to be an assumption here. I haven't been inside hardly, but when I see a window like this, I'm assuming this is the primary bedroom suite bathroom, and the bathtub would be right there. So there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of opportunity to do the plumbing right here. Okay, but I'm going to move on in here. Refrigerators are beyond the scope of the inspection. If you want to keep this refrigerator, it's so small. I mean, I usually recommend service, like the refrigerator is staying in the house. I'm going to recommend that it's serviced, for the long run, and coils are clean. You can do this yourself. It doesn't weigh very much, all right? But something's going wrong, and maybe it's the thermostat. Maybe it's the thermostat, because this whole freezer is frozen up. So I know it's getting cold because we got ice, but something's wrong. This little puppy is sick, okay? Just kind of looking around in here, just kind of taking a tour, and when you see that this is all framed in like this definitely looks like a retrofit. Okay, the faces are coming off of the cabinets a little bit here. This is faces coming off of the cabinet. It's your tolerance level. So we're coming on. This should be GFCI protected, and it's not. We do not have GFCI protection next to the sink and at the exterior. Alright, so no GFCI there. We're having some water problems here. Watch the vegetable sprayer, it's kind of fun. Alright, and I don't want to run it, so I'm just going to feel the water heater, because that's what this is about. So I come in here. This is a brand I'm not too familiar with. I'll be the first one to say that, but the piping coming to the water heater is not insulated. And this is your temperature pressure relief valve, and they're supposed to be replaced about every 3 years. Dollars of donuts. It hasn't been. It hasn't been. And it should have a drain line, and then all this exposed NM cable underneath here. If it's behind the wall, that's a different thing, but there's storage underneath here, and so this cable should be insulated. This piping, okay, where it comes through the wall, we should have escutcheon plates on this piping. And then coming down here, this should be GFCI protected, and I'm not going to get in there and test that. It's not, okay? It's not GFCI protected. It's within 6 feet of the sink. Now, this yellow cable right there, that's your electrical cable, that's NM cable. You see those dirty marks on there? Okay, that's the oil off of pelts. What does that mean? That's the oil off of the pelts of mice. So mice have been crawling through here. There's been a little mouse highway, and that's the oil right there. A squirrel will not usually burrow like that. Okay, a roof rat, it's possible, but they also, like squirrels, they're so closely related that they're going to be up in your attic. This is a rat. Okay, what can we tell about our water heater? It does not have a safety pan. It does not have a secondary drain line. It does not have a drain line for the temperature pressure relief valve, which is probably over 3 years old. Considering this data plate, from the best I can read, this is a 4-gallon water heater. A 4-gallon water heater, and it is, from the best I can ascertain, okay, my best guess is that it's 13 years old. Statistically, they last about 10. So this is an old man that was never installed properly. Never installed properly. We got corrosion on the connections there. It wasn't insulated. We do not have a temperature pressure relief valve. We do not have a safety pan. We do not have a care and use manual. We don't have any of those things. And I can, I said I was going to be able to tell and see the piping coming to the water heater. It should be identified. See the blue ring and the red ring? That's hot and cold. That's the only way you know you've got hot or cold water. That's the only way. This piping should be marked. I come in here, I feel the cold water. That's all right. I feel the hot water. I don't feel. It's not even working. Okay? It's not even. Well, the temperature pressure relief valve it's warming up a little bit. It's warming up a little bit. I don't even know where is the thermostat in here somewhere. How do you do this? How do you get to the thermostat? The temperature, is that the thermostat? Might be, I don't know. I don't know. So, it is kind of warming water. It is an old van that was never installed properly. And I can't tell if it's working or not. Usually, the conventional way to tell if a water heater is working is you come over here and you turn the water like that. So I guess hot water's not even coming out. Our vegetable sprayer is on this thing is wrecked. Coming over here. Woo! Well, let me do that again. Let me do that again. I wasn't focusing very good. There you go. It's kind of a magic trick. If we're in the mood for that. Now that was the water heater. With the water heater video, I get that. But we're going to keep going. This is the bathroom that was added on. And I've been running. That's cold water. This is your hot water. We don't have any. I'm going to come back and measure this, but I'm going to go ahead and just make a call here. But to me, this doesn't look like the center of the commode is 15 inches away from the wall, and it might be, but we'll find out about that later. But it flushes. Everything that was supposed to go down went down. Okay. It's not very well mounted. How about that? Okay. So it could be a little more securely mounted to the floor. And then these things right here, these are called escutcheon plates. Escutcheon plates. And you should have them here. You don't have them in the other room. And you should have one here on the drain. And we don't have one on the drain either. Oh, what do we got over here? We just got an access to some plumbing. Is that what it is? Just an access point? It looks like somebody installed a primerite. Okay. I'll take a picture of that and identify that. This was probably cut out to install this. This needs to be, because this is a bolted in plate, this is a device. It should be accessible, so it's nice that we have this plate. And then we got some GFCI receptacle outlets over here. Some GFCI receptacle outlets. And this one works. How about that? We don't have any for the kitchenette. Okay. This one works. We don't have any for the kitchenette. This is the light switch closest to that. And that's the fan. Yay! Okay. Everybody wants a fan. Fans are fun. We come out here and we're looking. And we're looking. I'm still looking. You know what I'm not seeing? I'm not seeing a fan exhaust. That is a plumbing vent. Okay, that's good. We have all this plumbing over here. It's nice that we have that. Alright, I was looking for that. We got it. We do not have an exhaust for the fan. So where do you think the fan goes? The fan goes into the attic. That's not a proper exhaust system for an attic. Okay? Well, speaking of a proper exhaust system for an attic, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but it'll be on a silent video. It's called a ridge vent across the top. That's an exhaust vent. You can't exhaust without, it's probably exhausting now because we turned the fan on. But we don't have any exhaust vents in our, we don't have any intake vents in our soffits. And this is a hip roof. Where's the air going into the attic to be exhausted out the exhaust vent? I can't see it. I can't see it. Why can't I see it? I don't know. Let's keep looking. Looking around, back in our kitchenette area for the water heater video, right? It's supposed to be a water heater video? no vents. No vents for air intake. Alright, if we move a little further around here, we start seeing soffit vents. That's for the main house. It's not for this addition. It's not for this addition. So what did we learn? We learned that we got an old water heater that barely works and it's got some installation issues. Our plumbing, we don't have hot water in any of our fixtures. Our vegetable sprayer doesn't spray right. We do not have GFCI over here. And our little refrigerator is freezing over.